Giving in to lust is a natural thing for a human being and is completely fine to do. Is what I would say if I was a complete fucking idiot. I'm sorry for yelling at you. But this needs to stop. Let's talk about lust. Lust is horrendous. One of the most popularized and normalized objectively wrong things to ever exist. We can talk about how, pride is like the worst sin, it somehow got Lucifer kicked out of heaven, but let's talk about lust. Because lust is even easier to spread. Lust is the inability to control your urges, to control your own flesh. It does technically stem from the desire to reproduce, but we all know 99% of lust is not going towards that. Now, I don't have any statistics pulled up, but I think we can tell, and we could search up if we wanted to, statistics and studies that literally not just show but prove that lust ruins lives. It ruins marriages. It even ruins the simplest friendships. Some people off themselves because they are addicted to lustful things and they can see that they can't control themselves from it. Me personally, I am battling this shit for almost a decade, about like 8 years or so. I don't even want to know the exact time. But most of us who start getting into lust, getting exposed to it, we start at a young age. Lust is more normalized for adults, which kind of makes sense, but it's also horrible. And yet, somehow, most of us get exposed at a young age. Think about what that does to a child. Now, me personally, I was about 10, 11 ish years old. Still horrible. But I've heard people who got exposed at like 8, 7, even 5 years old. The dopamine receptors start being fried because of what that thing actually does. And then, since it's feels so good to watch the thing, once you hit something like puberty, it becomes even worse. You start to touch yourself, and your dopamine gets fried even more. It just fries you alive. And what happens then? The addiction strengthens. Mental health becomes worse. You waste more and more time on it. You get physically drained. Suddenly, you can't talk to people properly. You can't look them in the eyes. You can't even look at a woman properly. And what does society do? Well, we're just animals anyway. This is normal. Nothing about it is normal. Things happen to a lot of people because other people can't control themselves and they seek that sexual connection so bad they are willing to throw their own life away and ruin someone else's just for that pleasure. And you know exactly what kind of act I'm talking about. That shit makes my blood boil. And I'm sure it makes yours boil as well. Now, it doesn't even have to ruin your or someone else's life like super drastically and in one single go. it also adds up so quickly. It's like, okay, well, just for like 10 minutes a day, 15, 30 minutes, and then that shit happens every day, week to week, month to month, and now it's been 5, 10, 20, 50 years for some. You can be having a pretty decent day. You can be, productive, using your time for something, working on something, helping someone, and yet all it takes is that one uncontrolled urge and it's all over. Yes, it doesn't delete the progress you have made before it, but it just makes the day feel like a waste because you know you did something you absolutely shouldn't have done. Now let's talk about solutions. Like I said, I've been battling it for a long time, so I don't have a full solution, but I have found things that actually help. Number one is you gotta believe in God. You have to trust Christ that you are more than your urges. He has died for our sins, lust included. Just because you have fallen into bad habits, that doesn't mean that you have become bad yourself. We all sin. We all make mistakes. We all do horrible things from time to time. But we should not let that define us. We should not let that make us think that we're not worth anything other than just falling into the same habits over and over again. Next thing is extremely important also. It is to get busy. Find something to do every single day. Find something new, find something repetitive, especially try to do those things during the times when you would typically fall into lust. If you can do that, you're gonna see a lot of improvements. Plus, instead of trying to force yourself to take your mind off of lust, you will push your mind on to something else. And that works very well. Now, I know the most popular time to fall into lust is at night. Is when you have wind it down, you're not busy with anything. Maybe you're just scrolling on your phone. Unfortunately, there's no easier fix to that other than just literally having willpower, just putting your phone down and going to sleep. There's nothing you can do. Yes, you could get busy with something if you have some kind of, sleeping problems. Maybe you just need to do something before going to sleep, or else you will fuck up. Fine, do that. It's gonna be worth it. But a lot of us, we get what we need to be done during the day, even if it's in the evening. But at night, before sleep, it becomes extremely hard to control ourselves sometimes. So, with that, what if you're a man watching this or a woman? We're all in this, and we are gonna be all out of this. You just gotta believe it, you just gotta trust it, and you have to fight it. The devil will not win. He got one tapped by Archangel Michael. Like, what could he possibly do to us? Like, he's a loser. That's all I gotta say. Good luck to you all. God bless.